Okay, so now we're ready to talk about non-infectious diseases. So before we do, let's remember what an infectious disease is. Remember, by its definition, there are two main points. An infectious disease is contagious. It can be spread from person to person. And it is caused by pathogens. And that's actually why it's contagious, because the pathogens can be spread from person to person. So a non-infectious disease is going to be the opposite of both of those. Non-infectious disease is not contagious because it's not caused by a pathogen, so you cannot spread it. So let's start with our three definitions. I'm going to open this up right here, and I want you to copy these three definitions. Genetic disorder, which is an abnormal condition that is usually inherited through genes. Allergy, an abnormal reaction to a foreign substance. And allergen, a substance that provokes allergies. So pause. When you're ready to go on, click play again. All right, here we go. Non-infectious diseases are not caused by pathogens and are not contagious. Many are chronic. Okay, pause. Acute versus chronic. I want you to say the difference to yourself. Acute is so cute. It's just a little thing. It's short. It comes on suddenly, lasts a short amount of time. Chronic is the opposite. They happen frequently and or last a long time. So go back to the sentence. Many are chronic, such as cancer, diabetes, heart disease, stroke, asthma, and arthritis. Some are acute, such as strokes and appendicitis. Because of technology and advancements in science, infectious diseases occur less often, but non-infectious diseases have become more common than they used to be. That's kind of a bummer. Right. Genetic disorders, this is one type of non-infectious disease, and it goes back to our DNA when there's a mistake in our genetic material. Remember the instructions for our cells. Genetic disorders are non-infectious diseases that are usually inherited. Remember, because we get our DNA from our parents. They are caused by either mutations in the DNA of genes or by changes in the structure or number of chromosomes. Common genetic disorders are Down syndrome, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, and color blindness. Down syndrome is an example of a change in the number of chromosomes. Individuals with this disorder have an extra copy of a certain chromosome. Color blindness, hemophilia, and sickle cell anemia are examples of gene mutations. Family history is important when discussing genetic disorders because several common diseases tend to be passed down in families from one generation to the next. These common diseases usually result from an interaction between environmental factors and genes. So let's look at these things on the specific examples they've got on the bottom of this page. If I can get this to move for me. Okay, right here. Start with asthma. Several of you have asthma. Did you know this is what it looks like? So this right here, this is a normal airway. So here's your tube, nice big opening. They've got these bands of tissue. The mucus, remember, is there to stop pathogens from going down. But when you have asthma, things don't work the way they should. These bands of smooth muscle tighten like rubber bands. Look at this. Can you see how they're constricted? And that makes that opening smaller. And the mucus all inflames. So you've got this submucus that gets thicker and mucus too much. Look at this. So there's really only a little opening that you can breathe through. And then arthritis. Now you guys probably don't have arthritis, but this is something that affects older people quite a bit. Look at that hand. Look at how swollen that is. Very sad. So arthritis causes the inflammation, the swelling of joints. There are over 100 types of arthritis. I had no idea. Symptoms include pain, redness, and loss of motion in the joints. It is not yet known what causes this non-infectious disease that affects millions of people. All right, I'm going to go to the next page. Give me just a second here. Bam. Okay. So we said genetic disorders. Then there's allergies, and this is where your immune system gets a little confused. An allergy is a non-infectious disease produced by the immune system's irregular reaction to a substance in the environment. When you inhale, touch, or swallow a foreign substance, special white blood cells are responsible for identifying it. If the foreign substance is a pathogen, the white blood cells trigger your immune system to destroy it. If it's harmless, nothing happens. Sometimes the white blood cells mistake a harmless foreign substance, such as pollen, for a harmful object. The pollen then becomes an allergen. The immune system responds by attacking the particle, causing an allergic reaction. Pollen, dust, mold, certain foods or medicines, and animal dander are all different types of allergens. Poison ivy is a plant that's also an allergen for many people. Allergies can range from mild to very severe. So let's look down at this. See that picture? It's colorful. This image magnifies pollen from a variety of plants about 500 times. While pollen is not an allergen for everyone, the white blood cells sometimes mistake them for pathogens. Here's another one. Ooh, look at this monster, scary monster. See that creature? Huh, he's in your house. Dust mites are found everywhere that dust is found. They can also be found on fingernails, hair, pollen, fungi, bacteria, and animal dander. Some people have allergic reactions to the dust mites themselves. Not to the dust mites themselves, but to the proteins in their feces. You know what feces is? Poop. So you're actually allergic to dust mite poop. How about that? All right, last thing. Go back up to this. Quick fact. One of the most common acute diseases to occur in children and young adults is appendicitis. The appendix is a small structure attached to the large intestine. It acts as a storehouse for the beneficial bacteria that reside in the intestines. Appendicitis is an inflammation of the appendix. Sometimes matter blocks the opening to the appendix. Bacteria begin to invade the wall of the appendix, and the body reacts to this by attacking the bacteria. Symptoms can include sudden sharp abdominal pain, spasms, tenderness, nausea, and vomiting. The appendix can also rupture, releasing its infectious contents into the abdominal cavity. Though appendicitis is caused by bacteria, it's not a contagious disease. There it is. Because the bacteria are in your intestines, you can't spread it. All right, so there's your lesson for today.